This is John Colder with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, we're going to compare the Hurom commercial CP50 juicer to the household H70, which is actually my favorite Hurom juicer at this time. Some of you guys may be thinking, John, that's not a fair comparison. Well, you know, in my mind, I want to make this comparison because I know some of you guys out there that you know, are just home users, right? Think, oh, the commercial juicer, because it's commercial, it must be better. Like always commercial things are better. Well, you know, here's the straight truth, you know, and hopefully I'll show this in the episode. You know, the commercial juicer, it's built like a tank. It is a tank. I mean, if you want to have the commercial machine to brag to your friends to say that you spent a ton of money on a juicer and you have a commercial juicer for your home that you're going to juice just occasionally, juice small volumes, even do some small amounts of batch juicing, you could certainly do that, but in my opinion, I'll be the first to tell you guys, you know, you would better spend your money more wisely on a home juicer. The reason for this is the warranty length is significantly longer in a home juicer for home users. You have a full 15-year warranty on the entire machine on the Hurom H70. And when you guys buy a commercial machine, whether for home or for commercial use, the warranty is now only 4 years on the commercial machine. So you're literally cheating yourself out of a long warranty. That being said, if you guys are a commercial restaurant or juice bar, then I would tell you guys, buy the commercial machine because this machine can run 24 hours straight, produce tons of juice for you guys in that amount of time. It is a very heavy duty motor, even has an auto reverse built in. Should it kind of get overloaded, it'll back up and then start back up, whereas this machine will basically stop. It'll have you stop and then turn it back on. And plus, of course, if you guys are using a home machine in a commercial restaurant, that basically will void your warranty. So the truth is, buy the right machine for the right task. That being said, the CP50, as it comes shipped from Hurom USA, has the Pure Line juicing screen in it. This has a standard stainless steel juicing screen, a wiping blade, and the auger. That being said, Hurom at this time has not yet released the upgraded parts, which will be about $60, which is basically the easy clean parts that you could drop into this CP50 to make it as easy to clean as the H70. That's why I love the H70, because it is an easy clean machine. It takes me literally 60 minutes to wash it. When I'm done, I literally just spray it off. I don't even use a brush. I haven't ever even used soap on it myself. You want to see how this juicer held up after 1 year of me juicing with just spraying it off without any soap? Link down below to that video. If you guys want to learn more about the CP50, see the original unboxing video where I go deep about it, then link down below to that video where I go to the unboxing of the CP50. That being said, my name is John Kohler, and I started my company DiscountJuicers.com over 25 years ago now for two reasons. Number one, to save you guys money, and I mean it is in my name. And number two, more importantly, to educate people about the differences between the machines. I'm the only guy on the internet that publishes full-length comparison videos. Some people hate it, some people love it, because I'm not here to just try to edit the video down and only say this about a juicer or that about a juicer where you guys don't get the full story. I want you guys to have all the information so you guys can make the most informed decision and be the most informed consumer, because unfortunately there are companies out there in the juicing sphere that basically will just want you to believe what their marketing department says, which, you know, in some cases is a lot of fluff. So I try to cut through that and always get you guys the lowest price. And if you guys are looking for either of these two machines right now until Father's Day, right, you guys could save nearly $150 off the Hurom H70, my favorite machine. Link down below to my video why it's my favorite machine. And you could save over $325 off right now on the Hurom CP50 off their original selling price. So these are some amazing sales that you're basically double dipping the Hurom Father's Day promo plus my additional discount coupon code we'll throw up right there, PRO, P-R-O, because no matter which one of these machines you'll be using, you guys can be juicing like a pro. Like literally, that's what I use the Hurom H70 at home. And if you're in a commercial juice bar setting, you could have the pro equipment for your shop. So saving an extra 10% will get you guys over $325 off the normal selling price of the CP50 right now. And once again, the Hurom H70 save you guys nearly $150 off, making this less expensive than other comparable models. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and do a deep dive and break down what makes these two juicers different. I mean, the main thing is the top sets. We're going to take off right here. Top set of the H70 and the gigantic monster top set of the CP50. And you guys can see there is a vast difference. Of course, this is a commercial quality machine with commercial sizing, larger auger than household models, and of course it has the largest hopper of any Hurom juicer out there. This is a 3-liter hopper, and over on the H70 this has a 1.8-liter hopper. So let's go ahead and take these hoppers apart and show you guys the main differences. So you guys can see literally this is a big difference in the size of these hoppers right here. If we pop up the CP50 hopper, I think we could almost fit in the H70 hopper inside. Not quite, but almost. This thing is gigantic, but this one has a removable lid for easy cleaning. This also has the latest processing blade design that actually has a point up on the top, and as well as kind of goes a little bit deeper down on the bottom. And then it looks like, to me, this has a unique shape as the produce goes in, and especially some cutout ridges here that'll help get produce funneled into the machine. One of the things I like about this hopper is that it is a one-piece design. In addition, it has these little knockout things right here that help get the produce funneled in the machine. So over on the H70, the lid is non-removable. I do like the removable lids, although this does go pretty much suicide for you. This has the, the more traditional processing blade design, and this has a very unique shape cutout. I really believe that this unique shape cutout, basically helps the machine extract the most out of the produce, because it actually slows down the produce going into the machine. That's why this machine may take longer to juice. That being said, this is taking longer without you. So you don't have to babysit the machine. The machine's just running. You come back in a few minutes and your juice is done. And because of this unique size cutout, the Hurom H70, based on all other easy clean models that I've tested to date, typically will get a higher yield. All right, so that's the hoppers. Hoppers basically are pretty similar. They're basically a place to put the produce that'll get fed in. I haven't checked the efficiency of each one, but we're going to see in this video. The next is the main difference between the machines is the Hurom H70 has a one-piece auger, and over on the CP50 with the pure line setup, right, this has a 3 pieces. This has the pure auger, the juicing screen, as well as a processing blade. Hurom hopefully will soon come out with their easy line system, which will basically have a system with the single auger to drop into this setup, which I'm really looking forward to, and I'll probably retest this video again against the H70 when we have the easy clean line to put in there. But yeah, this is the main difference. Is you have a auger, which is actually the largest auger of any hopper style vertical juicer that I'm aware of, so it has a lot longer run, so it may grind up a little bit better. It also has a gigantic juicing screen and a wiping blade. So how this works, as you put the produce in, the produce goes in the auger, it basically gets crushed up between the juicing screen and the auger. Produce gets crushed up, and then the juice basically falls outward, the pulp comes out the bottom. And then the wiping blade is spinning around all during the time to keep the juicing screen clean. Whereas over on the Hurom H70, the easy clean line, you basically just have an auger. This auger is a 2-piece auger, so it comes apart, and as you put it together, the little slats or the lines in between the 2 different parts is where the juice will actually fall in. So as you put this in there, the produce falls between the auger and the actual juicing bowl. The produce gets crushed, squeezed, and the juice falls in. The pulp stays on the outside, the pulp comes out. So this makes cleaning significantly easier, since literally all I ever do is just spray this off with water. I take this apart, spray these down, high pressure water, spray this part down, and I'm done cleaning. Whereas on this, you know, you need to use a traditional cleaning brush, such as the one they provide you with the juicer, and you need to scrub out this juicing screen. Now, another major difference between these two machines, the Hurom H70 is not dishwasher safe, whereas the CP50 is dishwasher safe. So that kind of changes the game a little bit. That being said, while they can be dishwashed, just because you're dishwashing it doesn't mean all the screen holes will get cleaned by just throwing it in your dishwasher. You will still need to pre-scrub your screen to get all the pulp unstuck. Then you could put it in to the dishwasher for the final cleaning. So the cleaning on the CP50 takes me about 5 minutes or so, and the cleaning on the H70 takes me about 60 seconds. And this is really a huge difference. I mean, if you guys have a restaurant, then you know you're gonna have to use this. But if you're just a home user, why would you want to spend like 5 times more time cleaning when you're done juicing all your juice and you got to put it up, store it, or whatever, right? When you could just spend literally 60 seconds. And that is really the miracle of H70. It'll actually get you to juice more. So I'm really looking forward to the time the CP50 in the US comes out with the easy clean parts, which will basically essentially make this a CE50 that is sold around the world. And of course, on this machine, you have the option. Sometimes you may want to juice with the juicing screen because some produce items may juice better with the juicing screen, meaning get more yield or work more efficiently. And then sometimes some items may juice more effectively in the easy clean system. That being said, I haven't found a significant difference between the two different systems. And, you know, for me, I really favor the easy cleaning. So a lot of people still are using juicing screens. They don't really get the easy cleaning until you've converted to that. So if you guys are one of my viewers who have already converted to the Easy Clean system and previously had a juicing screen, post your comments down below on what a difference it makes and how much more you juice because of it. You know, this is one of the greatest advances in juicing since I started my business back in the 1990s. All right, then finally up, we got the juicing bowls. These are also similar but different. You know, in this juicing bowl, the grinding is done all in here. And then also you have a easy to clean spout that you basically just unlatch this and it opens up so you guys can get in there and clean it easily. And then where the juice comes out, you have this contraption that basically you can close the spout cap, and then it has a little gas lever gauge that I've never really been a fan of. You need to open this up to get it to clean when you're finished. Meanwhile, I prefer the design of the CP50 myself on this, where you just have the spout cap, you can close it, and the level gauge is just the bowl itself. And then over on this side, they've kind of have a new design on the Hurom. Instead of opening up and the whole flap coming down, they've made this area a lot larger, and then they basically have a little tab that you could basically just pull out to clean very easily. So this is very interesting, and then this is a lot larger area to kind of even get your finger in. It is said because they have it set up like this can allow you to more easily clean jams up while you're juicing, whereas on the H70 and other predecessor models, you would actually have to stop, take the machine apart, which, you know, has happened to me on occasion. Okay, so these are the differences in the juicing parts. Main difference is the juicing screen typically, but not always, will put less pulp in the juice for the most part. That being said, that point is completely moot because all you need to use is a juicing screen if you don't like the extra pulp in the Easy Clean, and then you still get the benefits of the Easy Clean, which takes 5 times less to clean. It's also easier to assemble as well. All right, and then of course the main differences between these two machines are the motors. The motor on the CP50 is 250 watts with a 24-hour monster run time, and then over on the H70, this has a 150 watt motor with a 30-minute duty cycle that is recommended. That being said, pretty much every time I get out the H70, I run it pretty much for an hour to make several quarts of juice before I shut it off, and it has never failed me. Now the CP50 runs at 65 revolutions per minute, which is still quite slow, but the Hurom H70 beats it out by running at 60 RPMs in the USA, 5 RPMs slower. So typically the slower the RPM, the slower the juicer will make the juice, but also more importantly, the less oxygen will be introduced into the juice. That's why you don't want to use a high-speed machine that sounds like an airplane's taking off in your kitchen that can run in excess of 10,000 RPMs, and more importantly, put a lot of oxygen, dissolved oxygen, into your juice, which then lowers the juice quality significantly, especially over time. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and get these machines assembled. Assembling the H70 is quite easy. Just take the two-piece auger, put it together, drop that in the machine. Then you're gonna go ahead and take the hopper and you're gonna line it up. There's little lines that line up, and then you just spin this so that this is contiguous. Then you can just drop it on, and if you've assembled it correctly, it will turn on. And on the CP50, basically assembly has got a few different parts. So first off, you're going to take the wiping blade, put that on the juicing screen. Then on the juicing screen, you have a large tab and a smaller tab. You want to drop these in the bowl on the large tab, and the smaller tab drops right in there. Then you can take your auger, you want to drop it in, and as you put it in, you want to spin it so that the top of the auger is flush with the juicing screen. And then you want to look for the little lines on the hopper. So there, on one side, there's a little line, and on one side, there's an arrow. So you need to line up the line with the line and the arrow with the arrow to the unlock. So we're going to line up the arrow with the unlock to the arrow over here. And then we're just going to run that back. We're just going to go ahead and turn the arrow to the lock position. And always when you're done assembling the CP50, the handle should be right over where the juice comes out. This is very important, otherwise the machine will not turn on. And if you've assembled it correctly, it'll drop on the top, it'll beep at you, let you know it's assembled correctly, and then you'll be able to start it up. All right? So now that we have them both assembled, next thing I want to go ahead and do is a sound test to see which one of these machines is louder. I know they advertise the CP50 as being quite quiet, although it wasn't as quiet in my unboxing sound test, so let's go ahead and test it again. All right, so we got my handy decibel meter. Let's go ahead and hit start. So pretty much we're hitting 68 on the decibel meter over on the H70. All right, on the H70 we're averaging 66 to 68, so maybe I'm gonna say like 67. So for all practical purposes, these machines are about the same decibel rating. These are both slow juicers, so you can operate both these machines if other family members or your roommates are sleeping, or you have razor thin walls in your apartment, because it's not going to be super loud. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and juice even amounts of celery in both machines to see how long it takes, and more importantly, how much juice it makes and how much pulp is put in the juice. So first up, let's go ahead and do a weigh-in to make sure we have a fair fight. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and do a weigh-in. Looks like we got 1,297 grams on each scale, so let's get juicing. All right, guys, so we're all set up and ready to juice, but to make this a fair comparison, I'm just gonna go ahead and preload each of the hoppers with as much celery as we could fit in, and then I'm gonna start the juicers at the same exact time and then feed in further celery to keep the machines going, to see how long it actually takes. All right, so with the gigantic hopper on the CP50, I was able to fit all that celery in the machine, and over on the Hurom H70 is probably able to fit maybe half or so of the celery in the machine. So with that, let's go ahead and hit start on the stopwatch and turn on both these machines. All right, hit start and hit start, and we're off to the races. So on the H70, I'm probably going to have to basically tap down this sieve to let the juice go down, because it's kind of at a funky angle. As you guys can see, the juice is already coming out of the CP50, juicing all that celery without any incident. The juice is now coming out of the H70 as well. Not seeing a whole lot of pulp coming out either, and I'm just going to go ahead and drop in some of this celery as the machine is running. To save you guys some time, we're going to go ahead and speed up this part of the video and come back at you when we're all juiced. All right, as you guys can see, the CP50 just finished at about 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So we're just going to go ahead and press the stop button. The CP50 does have time buttons, so say you would fill up the hopper, you could press the 4 button, that'll run it for 4 minutes, and then it'll shut off automatically. Say, you know, you take the money from a customer, you could load up the hopper, shut the lid, take their money, come back, press the 4 button, and when you come back and you're done, the juice is shut off and the juice is all ready to hand to the customer. Meanwhile, the H70 is still juicing, pulp is still coming out, and the juice is still coming out at a nice slow clip. So let's go ahead and wait for the H70 to finish up. Alright guys, so it looks like the H70 has finished. Let's go ahead and hit stop. Looks like it took about 5 minutes and 25 seconds, so a few more minutes than the CP50. So yes, it did take longer to juice, as I told you guys, probably due to the hopper design with the larger hole, allows the produce to go through much faster. Next up, let's go ahead and drain out both these. I always like to tip this up a little bit, get any last drips, which there doesn't seem to be a whole lot. Close that spout cap, and we're going to go ahead and bring this juice front and center. And let's go ahead and shake out this sieve to get any last bits of the juice out, and just make sure we have only the pulp left in the sieve. Alright, and on the H70, definitely there's a lot more pulp in the sieve for sure. Let's go ahead and shut that. As you guys can see, there's significantly more pulp in the sieve, but once again, if you don't want the pulp, just use a sieve, and then the pulp is not in your juice. Not an issue. I don't know why people make this out to be a big issue, like, oh, this one puts more pulp in the juice. Well, to me, pulp is a good thing to have in the juice, because most people, unfortunately, are fiber deficient. And this, while this does put some pulp in the juice, most of the pulp still came out in the catch bin. That being said, let's go ahead and shake this pulp patty down and make sure we get all the juice out of it. All right, so next up, we're going to go ahead, before we compare the yields, let's go ahead and see how much pulp was put into each juice from each of the juicers. So we got the scale tiered out at 0, and the pulp put into the CP50 juice, not a whole lot. Looks like 35.8 grams of pulp. Let's go ahead and tear that out. We are once again at 0. So we're looking at a 38 compared to 94. So a little bit over double the amount of pulp put in the juice. So that's the maybe a downside if you don't use a sieve to remove it. An upside if you guys want more fiber in your juice, because most Americans don't get enough fiber. And of course, you can easily sieve it out 2 times as much pulp in the juice from the H70. Alright, but now let's see who the supreme leader is in terms of the yield, right? The CP50 was faster to juice, put less pulp in there by 2, maybe took about 2 minutes less to juice, but did it actually make more yield than the H70? Let's go ahead and do a close-up on the juices to find out. Alright guys, let's go ahead and do a close-up on the yields. If you guys look closely, you guys can see actually the H70, the machine that costs 2.5 times less money, made more yield. So if we look closely, looks like we made about 900 milliliters of juice. And over on the CP50, looks like we're about at 880 milliliters of juice. So clearly, the home machine beat out the commercial machine. So you guys just learned that the home machine that cost 2.5 times less money made more juice. How much juice? 20 milliliters more of juice, which is 2% more, which is not a whole lot of extra juice. But nonetheless, this is really the power, in my opinion, of the easy clean technology, right? At first, when the technology came out, I was not a fan. But over the years, right, Hurom has improved the game. They adjusted the size that the produce is being fed in, the grinding apparatus, the how fine it gets the produce is ground up. And now, even though this put more pulp in the juice, which we did remove, right, 2 times as much more pulp, it did make 2% more juice, although it did take 2 more minutes than the CP50 to juice, right? So clearly, for home users that want the highest yield, the H70 is clearly the way to go. Why spend your money on a commercial machine that can yield a little bit less juice? That being said, this is still a very respectable amount. They were almost a tie, but in this case, the home machine made more juice. Of course, if you guys are commercial users, then you got to go with the CP50, which is the machine you should buy, and I will be doing comparisons between the CP50 against other commercial juicers in the near future. So make sure you click the subscribe button right down below and the notification bell so you get notified when those videos come out. Now the other thing I want to say is that I really can't wait until I get the easy clean part upgrade on the CP50, because once again, you don't need to use the standard screen design that in my opinion has been outdated due to the easy clean design. Despite it putting more pulp in the juice, right, that you can easily remove with a sieve like we did, right? These juices now have the same amount of pulp in the juice because we use a sieve to basically make it a level playing field. Even with that, there is more juice over on this side. So that is really, in my opinion, why people really need to ditch the screen juicers, right? There's no advantage that I could see other than the pulp that goes in the juice that you could easily remove with a $1.50 sieve from the Dollar Tree, right? So I don't know, man. People that are still pushing the screen design juicers when the easy clean design is so much more efficient. I really look forward to Hurom coming out with their next easy clean machine to level up and take the H70 up to the next level. And of course, the CP50 may be it. And you have to, once again, click that subscribe button right down below and click the bell, because when they have the upgraded parts come out and I get them, oh yeah, I'm comparing this one against easy clean on the CP50, which would make it a CE50. All right, so there you guys have it. This is the actual real world results. You know, no fancy editing. Showed you guys the whole process. To sum it up, this machine costs 2.5 times more than the H70. If you guys are a commercial user, then you should go for this machine, not the H70. H70 you will void your warranty. That being said, I have known, you know, juice bars to buy several of the home machines and use several home machines instead of one commercial machine. I don't recommend that. I recommend you guys buy the right machine for the right purpose. And for those of you guys that are at home, right, the H70 is the way to go because of that easy clean design. 60-second cleaning, you will be juicing more because of it. If you have stopped juicing because you don't like pushing produce into the machine, both these machines solve that issue. But the next thing is, after you push all the produce in, when you're done, now you got to scrub that screen clean. And I know a lot of you guys have done that for many years now and you hate it. That's why I really love the H70 with the easy clean design. Spray it down. You are done juicing, off to your next task in life, because I know we are all so busy doing so many things, and I don't want you guys to forget about your juice. When you use the H70, you load it up, shut the lid, walk away, come back, your juice is made, spray it clean for 60 seconds, and you guys are drinking more juice instead of not, because of a harder to use and harder cleaning process, right? If you guys are ready to take the next step and upgrade your juicing life, whether you guys want to get that commercial machine for your juice bar, restaurant, or cafe, or get the H70, my favorite machine at this time for your home, make sure you guys use that coupon code PRO. At this time, before Father's Day, you guys can double dip and once again save nearly $150 off the Hurom H70, making this the least expensive hopper style juicer with 50 years of Hurom engineering behind it. And likewise, you guys could use that coupon code PRO and save over $125 off right now on the CP50 if you must have that commercial machine for your home, but I would only recommend them personally for a juice bar, restaurant, or other commercial operation. I've tested this CP50 juicing ginger in my original unboxing video. This would be perfect for people that have a kombucha juice bar or want to make ginger shots. It juices ginger amazingly. Anyways, link down below to my original unboxing video on this. And check out my videos on the H70. Links down below, including my original unboxing, as well as why it is my favorite juicer out there. When you guys use that coupon code, not only will you guys get the lowest price, and if that double dipping promotion ends on Father's Day, my coupon will always get you guys at least 10% off, but also get you guys the lowest publicly available price on any Hurom machine available, because I am discount juicers and I want you guys to always save the most money, but more importantly, have the proper and most accurate information so you guys can make the most best juicing choice for you, your family, or your business. So I want to thank you guys who will use that coupon code. It allows me to buy my produce, pay my light bill, pay my amazing video editor, so I can get these videos up to you guys and tell you guys the truth about juicers, because unfortunately there's so many influencers out there that are being bought off by a certain company or another, and they have only videos ever promoting one brand, right? And they don't promote the other brands because they have blinders on. They have no awareness of the other brands because they're tied in with one brand. I have arrangements with all the different brands out there. I've tested all the machines, and I know the best ones, and the best ones at this time, in my opinion, are the Hurom company. They've been making juicers for over 50 years now. They literally invented the first vertical juicer over 20 years ago now as well. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, like content where I compare a commercial to a home machine, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. It'll encourage me to do more videos that are lopsided just like this to prove my point. If you're a home user, buy the home machine. Commercial user, buy the commercial machine. Also be sure to share this with people that are looking for a heavy-duty commercial machine, or even just looking for one of the best home machines out there. This video can help them out so much. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new upcoming episodes upcoming every 5-7 days. You never know where I'll show up, what you'll be learning, what new juicers I'll be unboxing, comparing against each other, or what other appliances I'll be unboxing to allow you to process your fruits and vegetables and other plant foods in the best ways possible to retain the most nutrition and get the best health. Make sure you click the little bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check past episodes. Past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 900 episodes at this time on this channel dedicated to you guys all about the best juicers and other equipment to process plant foods. Links down below once again to my favorite videos I've made on the CP50 and the Hurom H70 to date. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.